Hello everyone from early at 11 South Wales and welcome to this week's appointment. Today we're going to talk about the way that we feel about ourselves, which is very, very important because life changes in the way that you approach anything, any challenge, depending on whether you believe in yourself or not. So we're talking about our sense of self-efficacy, our self-worth, our confidence, our self-esteem. And in my day-to-day life, in my work as a therapist, you just wouldn't believe, or you probably will believe, how many people I come across and connect with that don't believe in themselves, and how many people don't feel good enough. They don't feel adequate. And in fact, you don't need to be a therapist to notice this. It is something that you might just notice. It might be evident in someone's behavior, but if you just engage people in that conversation, you might be surprised how many people feel just like you might feel, that they don't believe in themselves or that they don't feel worthy of any good things happening to them. And why is that? We've mentioned this many times before. It has been said that we are like Velcro for the negative and Teflon for the positive. Our brains have a negative bias, which is in place, for all of the right reason from an evolutionary point of view. You need this negative bias to stay alive. Imagine in a very different kind of environment, it might make the difference between life and death. It could still nowadays make the difference between life and death. You need to be able to remember, notice any potentially dangerous experiences so that you stay safe. Of course, it comes with these emotional side effects. So what can we do in order to redress that balance? Because as things are, we're not having a balanced view of life, of what happens to us, of what happens in general, and of ourselves as well. So we need to reverse that a little bit by being Velcro for the positive as well. And that is one way that we can go about restoring that sense of self-worth that ideally should be in place. That would be really, really helpful, really resourceful for you to have. What is a way that we can be Velcro for the positive? So I'd like you to really make a mental note and really focus on, for example, compliments that people give you, positive things that people say about you, because we don't notice that. And when we notice, we just either shrug it off, which is, a very British thing to do, or we forget about it very, very easily. Every time that people say something nice about you, anytime that they let you know that you really matter to them, that you are valuable to them as friend, as in any kind of relationship that you are to them. Anytime that people are kind to you, because that means something. Any time that people thank you, anytime that they express appreciation and gratitude towards you, anytime that people make you feel included, anytime that you realize that you are important to them when they ask you for your opinion, for example. And these are things that it's very easy to either take for granted or dismiss, or just not remember. But they happen, and they happen as, I was going to say, as often as, I think they actually happen more often than the opposite, than people dismissing you or acting in a way that makes you think that you're not important to them. And if you need something more specific, you can actually ask people to spell it out as well, because why not? Why am I important to you? Why do you enjoy my company? What is it that you really appreciate about me? If you have friends that you are close enough that you can do this with, then by all means ask them to be specific, to reinforce or maybe widen the idea that you have about yourself as a person. You can definitely do this in a professional environment, when you are having discussions about, for example, your appraisals. You can actually ask your superiors to be specific. What is something that I need to work on? But also, what is something that I am very good at doing, that you rely on me to do well? And if all of this is not enough, you might be thinking, well, I've had this sense about myself that I'm not adequate, I'm not worthy, that I'm not competent maybe for so long that it's really, really difficult for me to reverse it. And I need evidence, I need proof. Then gather that evidence. You can actually prove it to yourself. And one way of doing it would be to ask a certain number of friends, choose a representative sample of your friends or acquaintances to do something for you. Ask them to do a favor for you, for example. Let's say that, let's choose an example that applies to me. For example, I'm not feeling very well and I can't walk the dog today and I need someone to walk the dog for me, please. And if I were to ask this of a number of people, what kind of answers would I get? What kind of responses would I get? Well, you might get a number of people that say, well, I can't right now. So they say no for a very justified reason. They might be away, they might be in work, they might be busy with something else, but then they might offer to do it later in the day. Can I walk your dog tonight? I will be there tonight. And you might have a significant number of people, and maybe a majority of people would approve it to you. They say, yes, I will help you right now, or I will help you very soon. And I think you will be surprised how many people actually are willing and happy to go out of their ways in order to help you, because that, at the end of the day, does something for them as well. You feel valued, you feel appreciated, you feel important when you are asked to do something, when you are asked a favor, because that shows that the other person asking actually has trust in you. They trust with something that they need, which is very confidence building in itself. So you can provide this proof to yourself if you feel that you need that step, you need that stepping stone in order to reevaluate things, reevaluate your beliefs about yourself. So just to sum things up, be like Velcro for the positive. Don't let these positive things, these positive signals that people give you slip away. So easy to let them slip away. Keep them, treasure them, focus on them just as much as you focus on those negative things that you are told, negative things that happen, or just negative feelings that you have inside yourself. Keep them, cherish the positive. And also, if you need something more concrete, if you need something more, which is evidence, concrete evidence, then you can ask people to spell things out. In which ways do you appreciate me? In which ways do you value me? And you can actually set up your own little small-scale social experiments to see actually out of your social network how many people are willing to do things for you. And I'm telling you, you will be surprised. People are much more helpful than we might think. And I see this on a regular basis, and it always surprises me how delightful that people are so generous, so kind. So I really hope that this helped you, and that you are going to set up your experiments, and that you are going to be, more appreciative of the positive, really retain it in your life, because that will help you. It really will help you in your day-to-day outlook. And I will see you here next week, same day, same time. Until then, please have a lovely, lovely week. Bye. Bye-bye.